Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. The next companion, a phenomenal companion, is none other than Ja'far ibn Abi Talib radiallahu anhu. This person was, of course, the son of Abu Talib and the son of Fatima bint Asad. Fatima bint Asad radiallahu anha, she was the first Qurayshi woman to embrace Islam. We don't hear much about the mother of Ja'far and Ali radiallahu anhu, subhanallah. Her name was Fatima bint Asad. Some say that she was the 10th or 11th person to embrace Islam. She had so much love for Ja'far radiallahu anhu. Think about it. This is the person with whom the Prophet ﷺ stayed with, subhanAllah, growing up. From the age, some scholars say that from 6 to 25, actually it was with Fatima bint Asad radiallahu anha. That's how the close the Prophet ﷺ becomes with his cousins. And we know Ja'far radiallahu anhu, you know what, mashallah, he was chosen at an early stage. When he embraced Islam, of course, his family, his wife Asma bint Umays, with his mother Fatima bint Asad, they all migrate to Abyssinia. During that migration, he was only in his early 20s, subhanallah, and he rose to the occasion. Think about it. The first person to have a conversation with a king, Najashi, was Ja'far. The first person to recite in front of a king was Ja'far. The first person to travel abroad and be the leader of a migration was none other than Ja'far radiallahu anhu. A phenomenal individual, did so much, subhanallah, and because of him, subhanallah, the Muslims, they found a place of refuge in the land of Abyssinia with Najashi. Years later, subhanallah, we find out that after the Battle of Khaybar, when the Prophet ﷺ won the Battle of Khaybar and overcome the enemy, subhanallah, he says the day that they won the battle is the day that Ja'far radiallahu anhu returns from Abyssinia, and he says, and he kisses the forehead of Ja'far radiallahu anhu, and he says, I've got no idea which makes me more happy, the fact that we've won the expedition of Khaybar, or the fact that my brother Ja'far has now returned, subhanallah. Within a short period, subhanallah, the Prophet ﷺ sends three leaders. You've got Zayd bin Haritha radiallahu anhu, Ja'far radiallahu anhu, and Abdullah ibn Rawaha. He sends them to current day Jordan, subhanallah, to fight with the Byzantines, subhanallah. Number so many, can you imagine? And he says that go there and fight. The Prophet ﷺ was in Medina. These companions, they fought valiantly. First, Zayd bin Haritha was killed. Number two, Ja'far radiallahu anhu was killed. And the third, we have Abdullah bin Rawaha was killed. The Prophet ﷺ is in Medina, subhanallah. Jibreel alayhi salam is informing him exactly what is manifesting and transpiring in the Battle of Mu'tah. He says that all three companions have been killed. Then the people, Thabit bin Arqam, the companion, says that we now need to appoint a leader who can lead us, who can make sure that is there to assist us and support us fighting these enemies, subhanallah. Lo and behold, Thabit bin Arqam radiallahu anhu, he chooses and he says that I, or people, choose Khalid bin Walid, who had just recently embraced Islam. Think about it, subhanallah. He had just embraced Islam. I'll speak more about Khalid bin Walid later on, inshallah. But he's just embraced Islam. He said, I designate Khalid bin Walid to be the leader of the Muslims. Subhanallah. Everyone says the same. They were all unanimous, and the Prophet says, standing in Medina, informing the people of Medina that the Saifullah, the sword of Allah, has just now taken the banner. And that's when we find out that Khalid bin Walid's story begins. He breaks 9 swords on that day. Subhanallah. The Prophet ﷺ now finds out that all the people are coming back. Asma bint Umays radiallahu anha, she hears that everyone's coming back to Medina. Her husband's coming back, and what she does, she prepares herself and her children, subhanallah, making sure that they have the best of attire when the Prophet comes to the house of Asma bint Umays radiallahu anha. And what he does next was so emotional, subhanallah. They say that we saw the Prophet ﷺ playing with the children, and the children were like running around the Prophet ﷺ with the smile on their faces. And that's when the news was given that Ja'far radiallahu anhu has been martyred in the Battle of Mu'tah, subhanallah. And we find out from the Prophet ﷺ, he says that I see Ja'far in the battlefield when he was killed, one of his arm, the next arm were being chopped off, subhanallah. He says that He has wings. This is the person that has wings and is flying with the angels in Jannah. How amazing is that, subhanallah? This person, Asma bint Umays, she of course now has the responsibility of looking after these amazing children, subhanallah. Eventually, after so many proposals, she then gets married to Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu. When Abu Bakr passes away, eventually she gets married to Ali radiallahu anhu, subhanallah, after her Fatima had passed away, of course. And we find out from this, subhanallah, that she was one of those individuals that had very close relationship with the Prophet ﷺ. Why? Through two of the four khulafas, Ali and Abu Bakr. And also we find out that from this we hear that of course she was married to Ja'far, one of the greatest, subhanallah, the one with the two wings. How close was she to the Prophet ﷺ? How close was Ja'far, the one that resembled the Prophet ﷺ, subhanallah? Allah allow us to fall in love with his companions. Allah allow us to learn about these phenomenal companions, inshallah. Jazakallah. Assalamu alaikum.